Hey Sonos, play the song Automatic. Hey Sonos, turn on 102.7 please. What's up, what's up, what's up? You guys will be glad to know I got my green beans done and blanched, along with my broccoli that I picked this morning from my garden. The beans were not from my garden, they were from the farmer's market. But I went ahead and blanched them anyway and stuck them in the freezer for, I don't know, a green bean casserole or something down the road. Right? You might have missed my message earlier this morning. If you did, don't sweat it. It might not be for you. It's more about my testimony and what's going on, for evidentiary purposes in case anything happens to me, right? Because we know how some of them people out there, that don't do shit with their lives, like to come over here and act like we ain't doing nothing, right? All the busybodies. That's right. That's right. Some of them people don't even know what the word blanching means, right? To them, Blanche is a character on the Golden Girls. Okay? Do you know what I mean? Like, some of them couldn't even fathom the possibility of growing a garden. All right? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I've always had a garden. No, I haven't always had a garden because haven't always made the time for it. But right now, I am making time for it. And thank God, because you know what? I just got some bag lettuce at the store. I don't know if they figured that out yet, you guys. I'm just saying. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Like, what is going on with this food supply? Somebody please tell me, right? Somebody in the government figure this out. Last time I checked, it's not a conspiracy. You know what I mean? That's what people that don't agree with you want to say. Oh, they're just a conspiracy theorist, blah, blah, blah. No, I just make sense and other stuff doesn't. How about that? Oh, thanks, Luke. Keep it PG, right? Otherwise you might get removed. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with some tarot. Somebody says that they are Korean and from Japan. So you are living in Japan, but from Korea originally. Welcome. In college, I met a guy that was actually born in Korea. But I didn't really know that until he told me because he spoke pretty much regular, American. He was raised here. You know what I mean? So... But every now and then he would say things and I'm like, And I just kind of chalked it up to like, we didn't grow up in the same area. You know what I mean? But then when he told me that, they emigrated when he was really young, and I thought, well, maybe that's partly why. Okay, why did my Sonos just stop? Apparently it's commercial time. It literally just started playing music and just stopped in the middle of the music to play like an advertisement. It's like the song wasn't even over yet. It was that song Strut from, now it's playing again. Who's not wearing pants? Who are you talking to there, Luke? Right? Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got my waistband on. I don't know about y'all. I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problems. But you know what? Sometimes women don't wear pants. We wear skirts. We wear dresses. So, you know what I mean? Might want to put on your thinking cap there, Luke. Oh, yeah, you're sorry now. Yeah, you're apologizing in the chat. You better apologize. You better apologize to anybody you ever accused of anything. How about that? Get right with God. Don't apologize to me. It's your ass on the line. I already made my, yeah. Maybe you are sorry. Maybe you need to go find a different something. Period. Right? You get a 24-hour timeout. How about that? How about that? Right? That's what they like. They like to ask you questions like that. How come you're not wearing any pants? Like, what are you even talking about? They'll phrase the question and they'll put it in a framing to already make you look guilty, even though you're not guilty of jack squat. Hello, hello. You know what? I think I've actually been told that before many, many years ago that I kind of looked like Darlene. Yes. Sometimes I feel like I relate to Darlene's character on that show, right? Well, some readings aren't very quiet, although some of them I do have labeled. Go to another channel, honey. It ain't your problem. It ain't your problem. Some I have labeled as like nighttime readings. Other things are more like, we're awake, we're living. You know what I mean? So anybody who doesn't want to shout and be loud and whatever, you go to your little quiet corner and figure it out. I don't know what that means in there. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. King of Wands, Leo. Sagittarius, Aries. Okay. So Leo season's pretty much over, right? But some of y'all might be a King of Wands or dealing with one. You might have this masculine energy. It's very interesting on this card. Their back is to us on this card, and it's like they're watching it burn in the distance. This is crazy. What is going on? Especially a Sagittarius man, sometimes people will say that they are ones to start problems and then walk away, right? They cut and run. So for you, collective, you might be dealing with somebody who is the type who will start something and then they'll like watch from the distance and be like, like, oops, I didn't really have anything to do with that. But really they like started the whole, like they're the pot stirrer. They're the SHIT starter. Do you know what I mean? We already went over the pants thing. You can't, come on now. Come on now. Get over yourself. It's like when I tell the Protestants, get over yourselves. You didn't invent religion. You didn't invent the Bible. Yeah, let me tell you, we got a lot of fundamentalists around here. You wouldn't think so in such a, they say we're, the liberal state and blah, blah, blah. Trust me, we got we got hard riders that would love to see women walking around here in fucking burqas. Okay, they are that fundamentally Christian that they would love to see the women covered up head to toe, don't step foot outside the house, and don't read nothing but the Bible ever. Ever. Yeah, we got them too around here. And let me tell you, they don't like me. They don't like me one bit. But, I was raised Catholic, so, we're a little bit more practical. Yeah, we're a little more practical. Isn't it funny, too, some of these fundamentalist Christians that have all these businesses, and they're like, oh, I'll build you this elaborate thing, blah, blah, blah. But then they want to criticize all the elaborate builds in the Catholic churches. It's like, but you want to give me you want me to give you $40,000 to build a deck? I don't think so. Yeah, Chariot card. Cancerian energy. It's like, yes, you can be sympathetic. I was getting this part of this message earlier. You're not going to be somebody's sympathetic ear anymore, even though you have the capability. It's like you're saving it for the ones who actually matter. Mm-hmm. And whoever the little pot stirrers are that are watching it burn, they are not it. They are not it. You are not sympathetic to their plight. PLIGHT, for those of you who are vocabularily challenged. Yeah. That's another thing. They don't want you to read anything except the Bible because they don't want your vocabulary to be bigger than the Bible. That's why they want, so they can try and manipulate you. Yeah, they don't want you to learn words that aren't in the Bible. Go talk to some of these people in depth. Go talk to them. You'll find out. You'll find out. And then you got to ask yourself, is that really what God wants for us? Or is that a man-made religion? That a man-made religion? And then they wonder why people don't want to go to church. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking idiots. Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady. See, that's it, collective. You keep rising, and it's just like you're very dogged. You're very dogged in nature. You get up, you brush your teeth, comb your hair, have your morning coffee, and then you get to work. Like, for some of you, maybe you have your morning cig on your way, or maybe you're a driver or something. Maybe you drive Uber or something, and while you're waiting, you have a cigarette or something. Like, you're not worried about so-and-so down the street just got saved, and they're, in the rapture of holy fire right now, trying to transform everyone's souls. You're not wrapped up in that. They are. That's a them problem. Okay? That's the problem, is a lot of people want to have their spiritual awakening be pushed on to the masses, and not everyone is into that, because a lot of us have already dealt with that, right? Baptism by fire, right? Some of us were baptized as babies. We've been hearing this stuff since birth. Okay, we didn't wait till we were 13, 14, 15, 30 years old to finally get baptized. We've been hearing this since birth. Okay? Okay? Yeah. Page of Cups. So, yeah, collective, you could be approaching this world with a lighthearted energy, and people might see it as an immature view of the world, but really they don't even understand your worldview, because all they're concerned about is you listening to their worldview and you agreeing with them. Right? That's what we call a one-sided conversation. Yeah. Try it with some of these Bible thumpers sometime. Try it. It doesn't work very well. And I'm not saying some of the Catholics can't be this way too, because there are some more fundamentalist churches out there, but for some of them it's not enough unless you're like living in frickin' Saudi Arabia with your whole can see my fuck that shit. You know what? Go watch Sex and the City 2 or 3, whatever fuck time it was when they went all the way over to Dubai or UAE, wherever the hell they went. Okay? Them women were having to eat French fries in 105 degree weather under their goddamn burqas. Ain't no American, ain't no Frenchman, ain't no Norwegian gonna put up with that BS. We ain't gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. Okay? So take your fundamentalist Christian crap and stick it where the sun doesn't shine, because we ain't doing it. Okay? Just because we go to Chick-fil-A don't mean we don't screw on Sundays, okay? All right? Six of Swords. Yeah, they gotta talk to you, and you're like, yeah, I'm not there. I'm indisposed. Remember that when the people that make time to take, they take your time to talk to you versus making time to talk to you. right? When it's convenient for them. I ran into this recently with one of my relatives. I was chit-chatting with them, but not very long, because you know what? That person had plenty of opportunities to chit-chat at lots of other functions besides the most recent one. Just because they decide to finally show up at the most recent one doesn't mean I gotta sit there and listen to them boo-hoo about this and that. Because guess what? Other people have moved on with their lives in the meantime. Haven't they? Haven't they? Yeah, other people got stuff going on. Right? Yeah, they thought you were going to stay quiet. They thought you weren't going to say your thing. Please tell me more. Please tell me more. I have nothing. Like, what? We all graduated elementary school already. We all graduated junior high already. We all went through the pomp and circumstance. Right? And some of us have kept going after that. Right? So how many times a day are you going to try and fool the fool? Also, if you're a young lady out there considering being a trad wife, please, 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 before you do, complete your education. Get the certificate. Take that final class. Get it done. Get it done. Don't be a loser. Don't be a loser. One time a day. One time a day, praying, meditating, right? King of Swords. Look at that. So you're lining it up. You're lining it up with the vision. And in some cases, collective, you might be cutting loose this chaos, right? This is somebody wanting to upset your apple cart. This is somebody wanting to put, a spear through the wheel so it doesn't go. And you figured it out. You're like, actually, this is very clear to me. This is very clear to me. This is a tyrant, and this is the law, right? And you're coming in now in this situation, and you are literally laying down the law. And this is definitely a masculine energy as well. And, just because this is a tarot reading doesn't mean that this is only for men or only for women. No. So you could be inhabiting this masculine energy in the way so as, right? That it's not going to be like, oh, well, we'll just, play on their heartstrings so they blah, 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 blah. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Kind of like the people that want to come on here and ask me about my pants. Like, if I'm wearing a dress, then obviously I'm not wearing pants. So, you know what I mean? But today I have on a shorts and a 3/4 sleeve t-shirt. What's it to you? You know what I mean? What do they need to know those details for? Are you some kind of fucking creep? Are you some kind of creep out here in the comments going from channel to channel asking people weird shit like that, you fucking creep? Huh? No wonder you got blocked off my fucking channel. Pathetic. Yeah, maybe they need to go visit the psych ward, right? If they're going around asking people questions like that, maybe y'all need to go visit the psych ward, huh? See what's wrong with you. Maybe we need to see what's wrong with you. Let's lock you up in the psych ward. Let's find out. Let's find out why you keep asking people about their pants. That's just kind of giving off the creep vibe, Anyway, right? Is that why they're asking about pants, collective? Because they want to get them off of you, Knight of Wands? Is that why? I said creep vibe. Well, that's what a Knight of Wands can be. And especially if it's one of these. Yeah. Yeah. Come around looking real slick, don't they? Mm-hmm. And then they try and, they drop their stuff. Then they try and run away. in their little fast getaway car. But collective, this is what I'm saying. You're seeing right through this. You're seeing through it. Ace of Wands. Yeah, they want to come and put it on you. They'll be like, oh, the collective can't resist me. Ooh. And you're like, excuse me? Like, honey, you don't think anybody's tried to come over in here and riz this up before? Honey, I got decades on you. I got decades on you. You know, this is when the Gen Zers, the Gen Alphas need to grow up and realize that, yes, your parents had a sexual health going on way before you came along. You know what I mean? Like, some of this ain't new. Okay? It might be new to you, because now you're finally old enough to know it, but it ain't new to them. Okay? You know, there's good things and bad things about maturing later in life. Because, you know, the people that mature later in life, hopefully they are able to get the message. You know, I guess that's all I got to say about it. All right, hopefully they're able to get the message. Okay, let's get into some more tarot here and see what's going on. So yeah, really what I'm getting here is a lot of stability that you are being inspired by and you want to vision. And, you know, you're kind of like, look, I want to feel free. I want to go on vacation. I want to enjoy my life and not have to worry about, you know, this kind of thing, right? And somebody else, it's like they want you to go through their trials and tribulations for them. And you're like, no, I'm not doing that. You're like, I already did that. You're like, I already did that. You know? It's like some grandparents want to be the babysitters and others are like, I already done raised my children. I don't need to raise another one. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, but some of the ones that end up raising their grandchildren, some of them situations ain't so great. And then you kind of realize why their kids are like they are because, yeah. It's like, what makes you think you can fix the grandkids? You didn't fix their parents. Just saying. You know, so it's like, are you, you know, in that sense, it's like, are they just repeating the same cycle? Do you know what I'm saying? Or are you allowing those people to take accountability and take responsibility for their own lives? Do you know what I mean? So I guess it's just kind of, I know there's some people out there that aren't going to like that answer, but, you know, it's like, when are folks going to learn? Yeah, Knight of Swords. So this person, collective, might want to have some kind of chit-chat with you. Whether or not you allow it is another story. Two of Cups. Look at that. So collective, there's somebody here that sees you as their ride or die. Now, that being said, just because they see you that way doesn't mean you need to hop in the car. All right? There's a lot of people that can sweet talk you for a few minutes, right? That don't mean you need to hop in and roll with them. Eight of Cups. Yeah, you might want to think it over. And here's the thing, collective. If it's somebody like a Knight of Pentacles, they're going to allow you to think it over. They're not going to try and pressure you into a situation. They're going to let you think about it and see if it's the best thing for you. I was just thinking recently about a situation that I had where, you know, it wasn't the best decision making on my part, but, you know, I thought I was really into this guy and blah, blah, blah. And, well, I had, you know, some stuff to do the next morning, but I ended up staying up way late with this guy and blah, blah. And I kind of told him what I had going on. Well, if he actually cared about me, he would have said, hey, you probably need to go home so you can get that stuff done for tomorrow. No, he never suggested that. You know, it was just me trying to hold up both sides of the bargain, right? So again, somebody who actually cares about you is going to let you finish the tasks that you need to finish, right? To complete your assignments. And if they don't want you to do that, then they are a dud. They are a loser. They are a pitiful, poor fool who will never get anywhere. You know? They just want to play games. You know? And I'm here to tell you that life is not a game. This is real. This is real. This is not a video game. Everyone, you know, I really dislike, there's a lot of readers out there that you're living in a simulation. This is just like a video game. No, it's not. This is real life. In a video game, you can stab somebody and they'll still live. In real life, if you stab somebody, they might fucking die. That's not a video game. Okay? I hope y'all are understanding me crystal clear. I hope y'all understand me crystal clear. That's why I've never been into these. I've never gotten wrapped up into the video game world. I'm not in it. I am not. So a lot of you might, you know, again, this might not be the channel for you. Okay? If that's something you like to do, go somewhere else where you can chit chat about it. It's not going to happen here. It is not going to happen here. Absolutely not. Because I live in reality. Yeah, look at that. 8 of Swords. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See? It's kind of like with some of these cases that we hear about in the news. One of the most recent ones. And I posted this out in the community tab because one of my questions is, this woman said she was hearing a male voice persistently. How do we know that male voice wasn't really her husband? It had to come from somewhere. Right? Had she ever reported hearing that voice before? Or was it her husband trying to get her to do that? Oh no, we have to believe it's some weird thing. Is it? Is it? See, 8 of Swords. Yeah. Yeah. They wanted to put you in the hot seat like that, collective. They wanted to put you in the hot seat like that. And say, oh, well, they're crazy. They la 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 la. And it's like, you know, isn't it funny how you just got an answer for everything? Like you were there, but you claim you weren't. And isn't it convenient that that guy knew where to go, where he would appear on camera at the time of the incident? Yeah. 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 I think he knew that he was going to be on camera, so of course he would have an alibi. Something about that whole case stinks of rot to high heaven. 6 of Wands. Yep. Yep. They thought they could tear you out. They thought they could shun you. Guess what? Guess what? They're going to have to see you walk. They're going to have to see you rise. They're going to have to see you on that white steed. Okay? Okay? They're going to have to see you winning that Kentucky Derby. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to have to watch that. Yeah, they will. Oh, boy. You know, there is a full moon coming up. I think that's part of this energy, but ugh. Just like the King of Swords, I was using my little knife to chop up my veggies before I was blanching them in the water. Five of Wands. Yeah. Yeah. And then they're going to be like, oh, what you got cooking? What you got this? What you got that? And you're like, why are you coming around now? Right? Why are you coming around now? I thought you already knew everything. Right? What could you possibly need from little old collective? Look at that, Virgo. Happy birthday. Hermit card. So, collective, you might be kind of doing this thing. You're like, yeah, I'm not taking any visitors right now. I'm working on my project, whatever that is, right? You're like, this kind of reminds me of my date, you know, these dating apps that I'm on. I'm only really on like one right now. You know, and they like want to talk to you, blah, 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 but they never actually want to do anything, right? And I'm just like, I'm busy. I'm blanching vegetables over here. Like, I don't have time to check these little rinky-dink messages back and forth, just for somebody to flake out, right? Because the Hermit card, we don't flake because we know there's nobody else, right? What does Dr. Phil say? There's nobody else coming to save you. My father always said to me, do not expect anyone else to help you. It has been one of the truest things I have ever experienced in my entire life. He was completely 100% right. The only person, thing, entity that has actually helped me is, you know, the higher power. You know, the universe, God. You know, the power of prayer. That's what's helped me. All right? And then God turning around and saying, okay, well, you got 2 hands and 2 feet, then get busy. Right? It's not about this. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of people out there worried about this, thinking this can solve their problems. This ain't going to give you nothing but more problems. And in some cases, it's going to give you little people problems. Right? Y'all want a baby right now, or you already got some? Because I know there's some bitches out here watching me that can't even fucking take care of their own goddamn kids, but they'll call EMS services on me. Kind of reminds me of one of these neighborhood chicks. I mean, she's got a kid in the house, but you never see that kid outside. It's perfectly capable of walking and everything, but she never lets it outside. I mean, where's CPS when you need them, right? I mean, I think that child should be living somewhere else, not with the mother, because the mother never takes it outside to do anything. You know, that's taken Hermit to a whole new, at least, you know, I mean, I walked my dog this morning. I actually left my house. Right? You know, but I mean, what's she doing in there besides work? I mean, what's she doing online? Looking for Mr. Wonderful to show up? What, to give her another baby that she don't even want to take care of? That's what I don't understand. Some of these dumb bitches, it's like they're all looking for a man. And it's like, well, the last man didn't take care of your kid neither, so why you need a new man? You know, just don't make a hill of being sense to me. Yeah, 6 of Pentacles, collective. I feel like because you are kind of honoring this Hermit energy, that things are evening out for you. that's going to allow you to walk into more this Two of Cups situation. Again, make sure it's the right person, because just because, you know, I mean, look at all the people who were in love with Marilyn Monroe. And which one of them actually took care of her? Guess what? She died young, didn't she? That Hayden Panettiere, that's same age. You know, I think, you know, very, very close in age. You know, so people think, you know, oh, this other person's going to solve all my problems. No. You need to be talking to God. You need to be talking to your higher power. Okay? You know, if you're an atheist, I'm sure you still believe in universal law. I know y'all watch them Marvel movies and everything. Come on, give me a break. Somebody's asking if I work with Moonwater. You know, I've never really done that. I know some people do. You know, I'm not going to say one way or another, because I don't know. And it's not something that I really worry about. You know, I've said before, I'm not somebody who thinks that, oh, in order to manifest this, we need a frog's leg and a jar of moon water and 3 petals of this weird leaf. No. I don't do that stuff. I don't do that stuff. You know, if that makes you feel good to collect that, to, you know, honor it or whatever, if that helps you meditate, hey man, good for you. You know what I mean? Like, what do I care? You know, if that helps you be on an even keel or whatever it is that you need to do for yourself. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? It's just, some people like fresh flowers in their house. Okay? Some people garden. You know, I like watching my plants grow. You know, so for some people it's that versus the other stuff, you know. So again, I don't have any personal experience with it. I'm not going to recommend it either way, but I don't think that it is absolutely necessary, right, in order for you to manifest good things in your life. I think there's other things that you can worry about, okay? Just for thinking of it that way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get some of these romance cards out here, since this is a little all over the energy here. So let's see what the romance angels have to say. You know, and this King of Swords, I'm really getting that feeling that they don't want to feel like a wallet. Because see, some of these little bees out here, that's what they're thinking. Like, oh, I'll just find so-and-so and they're just going to fund my lifestyle and la 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 la. Okay, well, maybe, but are you married? Because if you're not married, then, you know, how exactly is that going to work? You know what I mean? How exactly is that supposed to work? You know, if you just want to be a paid hoe, then go be a paid hoe. You know what I mean? Don't act like it's under the guise of romance. Because I know there's a lot of channels out there that'll be like, oh, memory, you know what I mean? But there's plenty of good dudes out there too that have been taken advantage of every which way, right? Because just as there's a dude with a sob story, there's some girl going like, and then like, right? You know what I mean? Using those wiles as a distraction from what the reality is. And some of these dudes be so goddamn lonely, right? It's like the first one that even comes up to them outside of a fucking strip joint, they're ready to go home with them. Hey, man, if that's what tripped your trigger, like the moon water, be my guest. But don't be counting on that and not doing any of the other work. Like, oh, I don't know, communicating with that person to even see if you have anything in common. Talking to that person to see if you have mutual goals. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, don't throw common sense out the window just because, you know, you got some little trinket. Unless that trinket happens to be the winning lottery numbers, you ain't got jack. You ain't got jack. Did you know? Did you know? Well, now you do. Calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Yeah, you cannot do one without the other. Okay? And even when you go to a wedding ceremony in the church, what do they tell them people? They tell them you have to do this together. That doesn't mean that one person prays and the other doesn't. Oh no. Oh no. You both better be praying your fucking ass off. Because guess what? For every 2 people that's happy, there's probably about 15 that ain't happy for you because they're jealous. Or, you know, did you guys remember the Will and Grace, right? Was it Will and Grace or was it Seinfeld when they were being predatory towards the breakup, right? And Elaine and Jerry were like, oh, so-and-so just broke up. And Elaine's like, oh, I'm going to go and put myself right in front of his face so, you know, I can sneak in there, right? And Jerry's like, oh, yeah. It's like, I liked her, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, they thought that they were going to get their hooks in because of somebody else's misfortune. Now, I think you can imagine how that turned out, considering it was a Seinfeld episode, right? Okay. So, you know, what they should have been doing was visualizing, right? And, you know, hey, maybe that person that they had a thing for, maybe that was a good example, but obviously it wasn't the person for them, right? So they should have been praying. They should have been using their affirmations. They should have been using their manifestations, trying to work on not only themselves, but putting them in alignment with who they thought that they wanted to be with, right? Okay? But if you're out here, you know, hoeing and saying all men are evil or all women just want money and blah, blah, then you're probably not going to run into the right person, because if you have that mental attitude, you're going to attract a low vibe. Yeah, I know, we don't want to hear that, but that's what happens, right? Okay. You know, when I got to a certain age, you know, in my late 30s, and it's like, okay, things aren't happening, you know, and then somebody comes along and I'm like, well, maybe this is the one, and you just have to dig in and go for it. And I did, and oh boy, did that turn out into a whole big mess, right? Okay? Because if you're not equally yoked, it is just not going to work. It will not work. Okay? Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, right? They always say that, especially for women, but I mean, men too. I mean, haven't you seen... What was the one? Her name was Patty, millionaire matchmaker, and these women would come in and she would be like, well, he really likes brunettes, not blondes, so are you willing to dye your hair? I'm not. You know, that's not the kind of open-mindedness that I'm looking for. The kind of open-mindedness I'm looking for. I mean, what if this dude didn't even have any hair to begin with, and then he had some preference on hair color? Really? That ain't the dude for me. That is not the dude for me. Okay? So give me the one who, you know, is okay with the color of whatever I put in my hair. All right? And I won't care if they're bald. You know? But yeah, you know, some people are so stuck on they have to attend this kind of church. They have to have this kind of profession. They have to make X amount of dollars a year, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, are those really non-negotiables, or are those preferences? Right? Know the difference between a non-negotiable and a preference. For some people, a non-negotiable is smoking. Some people don't like cigarette smoking. Some people cannot tolerate it physically. Right? For some people, pets could be a non-negotiable because they might be allergic. Or, you know, maybe where they live at, it's not possible, or whatnot. Okay? Or maybe their schedule, you know. Understand the difference between a non-negotiable and a preference, because your non-negotiables shouldn't really be flexible things, okay? But a preference, okay? Well, you know, he's not 6 foot, but he is 5'10". How about that? Considering you're only like, what, 5 feet tall, ladies? I mean, some of these women out here that have these height standards, and they're only, what, 5'1" themselves. Give it a rest already. Give it a rest already. And how many times are these women even walking around in high heels? I hardly see anybody walking around in high heels anymore. So I don't even want to hear that. All that is about the bedroom, if you ask me. Okay? And if you're that hung up in the bedroom that they have to be taller than you, then you probably do have some problems. Again, go seek counseling. Go seek therapy. Right? You know, go sit in the circle with the guy that wants to know about everybody's pants. Yes, thank you. Have a good day to you as well in the chat. Please do like the video, especially if you are in the chat today. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. See how she seems like exasperated, right? Some of us, that's what it was like, right? It's like having to deal with this person. It's like when you go like this and okay. So that's part of what this Six of Swords is also, right? And I don't care how cute you look together. I don't care if other people thought you would be together forever. I don't care if other people thought you had the perfect relationship. Obviously, you moved on for a reason, right? So it is your prerogative. It is okay for you to release that, right? If your family keeps asking about this person, tell your family you don't talk to that person anymore, and you would appreciate it if they stopped asking about them. Right? Tell them if they want to know the details, they can sit in a therapy session with you about it if they really want to stick their nose in. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people be like, oh, well, they had a good job, blah, blah, and they did this and that. And it's like, yeah, I got a good job too. So why do I need to worry about them? If they have a good job, then they're going to be just fine. I don't need to take care of them, right? Like, what's the insinuation there? Release, release, release. Fly away, fly away. Go. Okay? You know, you don't need to be like the little bird, feed the birds, top in the bag, right? You know, I mean, release. You know, just because other people like to eat poop don't mean you got to, right? Haven't you ever gone to some restaurant that somebody thinks is so great and then you freaking eat there and you're like, man, this is some nasty ass stuff? That's happened to me on more than one occasion. I'm like, wow. It's like, I don't even smoke cigarettes. You know, you think it's like, maybe it's because they smoke cigarettes, they can't taste what they're eating. No, it's not that. It's not that. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Yeah. This is that Knight of Wands energy that, what are you doing? La la la. Oh, let's spend time together. La 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 la. But it's just all talk. It's just boring talk. It's not really real, right? Or they be lying, right? And saying that there's nobody else in the picture, right? To see if they can get away with it, right? And then they speed away and then you never see them again. Like, and stay gone. Stay gone. Fly, fly, right? Stay gone. See, nobody over here needs that. No. No. But again, this thing with the, because I was thinking about this the other day. Because, you know, it's very accepted in society for men to have preferences. But when it comes to women, like, we're supposed to just take anything, right? Right? But now a lot of women have said, like, oh, well, they have to be 6 feet tall. They got to have this, and they have to make 6 figures, and they got to do this. Okay, well, I don't know. What if they made, I don't know, 80 a year and had their own business? I worked nearly 20 years at a corporate company and they denied me unemployment after that, to be assholes. So just because you work for the man don't mean it's guaranteed money, honey. You know, you want somebody who can succeed inside a box that you've created, but what about when life outside the bubble because a little bubble does not last forever. It eventually bursts. Okay? And then you're still standing there. Right? You can't just sit there all day blowing more bubbles. At a certain point, you're going to run out of soap. You're going to have to make more sauce. You're going to have to make more bubble soap. Okay? Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Yes. See, and that's just it, collective. There's people that think you're just going to sit there and blow bubbles for them all day. Like, la 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 la, la 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 la. That is not necessarily your job. That is not your job to shield everyone from reality. Okay? Are they actual literal children? No. Okay, this ain't about, this ain't about turning off the nightly news or sending the kids into the other room when the nightly news comes on. But some of these adults out here that have a hard time adulting. Oh, I'm adulting today. Right? All that crap. It's crap. It's crap. Engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So, collective, for some of you out there. Yeah. whatever this Two of Cups that you got earlier, I think for those of you who it applies, that this could be an engagement scenario situation. Okay? Where, yeah, you don't have a problem being an adult. You don't have a problem paying your bills on time. Right? You don't have a problem not going around asking people about their pants. Right? Because adults don't do that. Adults don't do that. That's a child's game. Again, I think that's why some of them people need to go visit the psych ward if they need to be asking people about their pants so much, because that's a child's game. Adults don't do that. Flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others. Okay. So, collective, I know it's difficult, especially if you have been deceived here, okay? But, you know, hey, like this king, if you see that you're lining up to the right one, then it's okay to flirt with the right one, right? Maybe, yeah, you're on one of these dating apps and it's just a bunch of blah, 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 right? But maybe somebody says something and you're like, oh, well, that's kind of an interesting, and then, okay, flirt back. Get that conversation going. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid to shine, okay? Because for the right person, right, they're going to be able to see you in that hermit energy. They're going to be able to see you when, you know, with the chariot Cancer, when you're all curled up on your bed with your blankie watching your favorite movie, you know, or with your pets or with, you know, whatever, okay? All right. You don't always have to be so serious and guarded. Yeah, passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Okay? So, yeah, there might be somebody that wants to wave this all around. Okay? But, again, if it's in the right manner, you might be like, okay. Right? But if they're standing on the street corner shaking that dang-a-lang without any pants on, that ain't for you. They need to go get checked out by the crazy ward people. They belong with the no pants society. You know, maybe they need to go visit a nudist colony. I don't know. But it's not on your time. It's just not on your time. Okay? So, yeah. Again, like when I was talking about some of these church peoples, they're so feminine. You know, well, I'm high on Jesus. Well, good for you. I mean, I'm not saying nothing about that, but I'm saying there are other things that humans enjoy as well. Right? And since Jesus has been gone now for, I don't know, a few millennia, right? We got to do the best we can with other things, right? So, you know, don't be afraid of dating. Don't be afraid of getting out there. Don't be afraid of finding somebody on your level. Okay? Somebody that can support themselves, but yet is empathetic, but with boundaries, right? Not just like, oh, take everything, you know what I mean? And then leave you with nothing. Like, no. That's what this was all about here. That's what this was all about here. Yeah. I feel like, too, that they want to explain. I think that's why this Knight of Swords came out, is because they want to explain things now and be like, oh, well, that's not what I meant. But you're like, no, that is what you meant. And I see it now. So, you know, you're like, no, I'm not about that. Not about that. Okay. All right. Thank you for the likes so far. Please do remember, you can like the video without becoming a subscriber, but you can subscribe today, right? And when you are a subscriber, You are allowed to add comments on any posted videos and things of that nature. You can also hit the notification bell so you're notified when I am going live. All right, but only subscribers would know that information unless you're some crazy stalker hunting me from the internet, right? Saying, when's she going to go live? So I can hatch my evil plans instead of adulting. So, yeah. I've already done a little bit of adulting this morning. I might do some more this afternoon. Considering I'm an adult, right? That seems to be the pathway. Anyway, until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye-bye.